Hey guys, Sax here. Just a reminder that this is a segment broken out from this week's podcast where we did all listener questions for the entire show. So if you have any pressing questions that you want us to answer, make sure to leave them in the comment section below and let us know what you think of this. If you want us to sprinkle these in or if you just want us to do more in the future. All right, enough said, let's get into it. So this is the first question I want to touch on, and this is going back a couple of weeks. The first question is from AJ Minto. He says, will the Witness be in Destiny Rising in the future? And so, Orion, we were talking before we started. Did you see the teaser trailer that NetEase put out a couple weeks ago?
I did, yeah. It's I'm excited for it, and like you said, I knew we were talking about this, but there's full disclosure on my history. I have played Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, but not nearly as much as a lot of other big Destiny fans. So there's a lot of things that they showed in that trailer that I got excited for, but I don't even know why I should be excited. So we started this conversation, and like you said, you had asked me a question, and I guess this is a great opportunity to deep dive that lore and for you to tell me why I should be excited
Yeah.
or even who this Witness person is.
Well, actually, that's a loaded statement you said right there, but I'll tell you that in just a moment. Basically, my top level feelings on the teaser trailer was that is the set piece for a Destiny Netflix show, Amazon Prime, something of that stuff. That is exactly what I want. A Cyberpunk Edge Runners, something along that lines. What was it? Arcane, like the things that kind of reinvigorated these games or these. Really, for Edge Runners, for me, it made me want to play Cyberpunk again. That teaser trailer absolutely made me long so much for just that animated show. Give me a tight 10, 11 episode season going through different arcs, things we know in the story. Now, to step into your question and the listener's question, basically, the Witness is our Thanos, okay? So the Witness is the big bad. The Witness is the entity that has been driving everything in the background. If you played Destiny 1 and you completed the campaign, there was a post-campaign mission, or I'm sorry, there was a post-campaign cutscene where the Traveler, after it was freed and kind of had its light restored and was restoring the light to all the Guardians, right? The Cabal, the Red Legion had come to the last city, had stolen the light, put this device over the Traveler, and essentially, held the light within so they could steal it. When that pulse went out, we saw at the end of Destiny 2, Vanilla, this pulse go out into the ethos, right? Go into space and go out, go out, go out. And then we saw this ominous, fleet of these black pyramid ships, Doritos, as people like to often call them.
I recall those. Yep.
Yeah, the Dorito ships, right? And we had no idea what it was. And to be quite frank, I don't think that the devs did either. I don't think Bungie actually knew who these, what was inside, what these things were. They just kind of had this symbolic nature of the round traveler and the sharp cutting, pyramid ships. Over time, they develop. And so what happened is we kind of see over the next few expansions, right? We didn't see anything really through Forsaken. It wasn't until we hit Shadowkeep, which is what they call, I think that's what they call basically the Light and Dark saga, is where we really started to turn the corner. That's the first time that we saw a pyramid ship in our solar system. And then the next expansion was Beyond Light. We had another pyramid ship on Europa. And then that is when the Black Fleet started to take away some of the other planets, right? So we didn't know really what had happened, but some of these planets were just disappearing. Titan and Io and Mars, like these locations. And so just continuing, right? Like it's kind of like this ever-growing presence. And then we got to the Witch Queen campaign and beat that. And then there's, on Savathun's throne world, there is just another pyramid ship that's just there, right? And that's where the Vow of the Disciple raid takes place, inside of that pyramid ship. And so we're getting drip fed all of this information about the Witness over and over and over again. And finally, at the very end, tail end of the Witch Queen campaign, we get a cutscene just like the one where we originally saw the Dorito ships. We get to see the Witness for the first time. And so it is this amalgamation of individuals from an ancient civilization, essentially, is what it is. So there's all sorts of dark magic, blending of different tropes and, stuff you've seen from whatever, but it's basically an all-powerful darkness entity that comes in. Kind of looks like Megamind, not gonna lie. Kind of looks like Megamind, and it's one of those things where that's fine, right? Like they went a direction with the artistic style of it, but I don't think that there was anyone who... There's people who have criticized that style, right? Really big eyes for some reason, almost like smoke coming out of the head, but the smoke is made up of people's faces. It's a very, very interesting. It's extremely unique. It's one of those things where it's a silhouette that is unmistakable. Obviously it's not a villain that rivals something like a Darth Vader type thing, but it's the same kind of ethos as far as the recognizability, right? Like they nailed it on that front. And so, but the Witness is the thing you would need to know, and what you could take away from the actual teaser trailer is you start to hear this like female and male voice, and then over time, like they're saying different lines throughout the teaser trailer, and then they start to they merge in the middle, meaning that they start saying the same lines overlapped with each other. And the point of that is the Witness, like I said, is through stuff and things. I ain't got time to get into all of that, but was a merging of a people that had a unified mind about what should happen with the universe. And so they came together through darkness energy and kind of merged their being. So when you hear the Witness talk, whether it's in Destiny 2, maybe supposedly now in Destiny Rising, there's this layered effect of the voice, right? There's like a primary voice, and then you'll hear other voices underneath that are kind of saying the same thing with the same inflection, stuff of this sort. And so, but the key word that the Witness likes to use is salvation, calling itself our salvation. We had the Final Shape campaign, which was essentially, it's still pretty etheric on what the Final Shape actually was, but essentially it was the cutting away of anything that did not... Originally, I thought there was going to be a little more to it, but what it kind of turned into is anything that did not serve the Witness's purpose was being diced away and cut away, right? Like chiseled away, so that the universe would be in a shape that was what the Witness wanted it to be. Whatever that looked like. We didn't really get to see that because we defeated it. Spoiler alert. But it's one of those things where, it really kind of had this air of mystery leading into it, this terminology of the Final Shape, salvation, throwing these words around. So to get back all the way, that was a long way to get back to AJ's question. Will the Witness be in Destiny Rising in the future? We have no confirmation. I think realistically, it would be a miss for them to do that anytime soon. I think they knew what they did. They didn't show anything on screen. They put this terminology, this salvations terminology in there, and then there's no chance that they just said that, like, talking about salvation, then having the doubled layered female and male vocals over top of each other saying the same things in this ominous tone. They knew what they were doing. They were teasing. There's probably a lot of people who are not Destiny players, playing Destiny Rising for the first time, maybe seeing that trailer, who have no idea, and I love that for them. I don't know what that's going to look like, but that's kind of the TLDR a little bit. I mean, I guess that was kind of still long, but it's that is who the Witness is. And to answer the question, I think the Witness, if Destiny Rising continues long enough, right? And I do, and that's not me saying, I'm just saying, like, projecting. I don't think that this is anything that's coming anytime soon, especially with the storyline of where we are in Destiny Rising, right? Like, this is technically still pre where the D1 timeline was. And so that is way down we have many fish to fry before we get to that segment. So
yeah, and as a not educated Destiny 2 lore guy,
Sure.
watching that, I guess I was more focused on the visual aspect where I believe they show Crota, right?
Mm,
So I guess
yep.
I took, or at least the three eyeballs of
Yep.
Crota, I took that and even the voice aspect as more of like a hive mind sort of scenario,
I gotcha.
or was it Crota and is it I can't remember who's
Savathun.
is it Crota's Savathun?
Yep.
Yeah, I took that more as like a hive raid aspect with Crota and Savathun,
Sure.
maybe even Oryx type of deal. But like it is awesome to hear that lore with that overlapping voice and the key verbiage. I never would have got there.
Yep.
I was more focused on the, like I said, the Hive and
Yep.
Crota and the visual. Um, but yeah, and even going all the way back, the trailer. That's how you get hype, man.
Oh yeah.
That it was some fantastic just visuals, and I always love to see Saladin kick some ass with
Oh yeah.
his bendy axe
Dude. Oh my
and
god. Did you
Radagast, and
watch my reaction video? I
I did,
was
of course I did.
well,
That was, but
dude,
I think I said I was more excited to listen to your hype over the trailer than I was the hype of the trailer itself, and the trailer was super hype,
oh
so it
yeah,
was
dude.
just fun.
It was so much fun. I was very sick on that day, so I was kind of on some medicine. So I was like, like I had some Dayquil in me. I'm like, all right. I started feeling a little better after I take some medicine. I'm like, oh, let's watch it. Dude, I was so hyped. That axe, the way the axe bent, and the radius on that, I don't know what it's called, the hilt. It's not the hilt, but like whatever, the handle on it, dude. I was like, that is one of the
Shaft,
cool,
man, it's the
the
shaft.
shaft. I guess I was stepping around that, but anyways, that teaser trailer was fantastic. Now it was tagged with hashtag coming to, or what is it, like 2026 or Destiny Rising 2026, something of that sort. Guys,
Yeah.
just know, like, we're like 2 months away from 2026. So we have no concept for how far into 2026. We have no concept. But one thing we do have a concept of is the fact that we know seasons in Destiny Rising are only 2 months in length. So we have these beats that are going to happen. I'm hopeful that we can get in a cadence, and it would be free, right? Because Destiny Rising being free just from the beginning and then having other monetization. I'm hoping we can get full-fledged campaigns on a yearly basis, just like we do in Destiny, like D2, where full-fledged campaign with a full story, things of this sort, large reworks, and then we can do seasons. I'm hoping that that's how they will actually develop, because people have been frustrated was like, oh, well, we're getting in the season and the only story content we have are these character stories. It's like, well, is that all this game's going to be? I don't think so. I think they've already flexed and shown their chops from developing a story, bringing in all kinds of NPCs. I think I would be super surprised if that's the only story content driving the narrative forward.